Welcome back to the deep dive. We know that if you're tuning in for this one, your time is precious and your to-do list is probably a mile long.
Yeah, your mental bandwidth is likely pretty low.
Exactly. So today we are skipping all the fluff and jumping straight into, I think, the most stressful pre-birth task: packing the hospital bag.
It really is. So our mission here is simple. We've taken all the lists, all the advice, and boiled it down to what you actually need for a calmer, more prepared hospital stay.
We've broken this deep dive into 4 main parts. First, getting the paperwork and, your comfort items sorted. Then the essentials for the birthing parent.
Right, and then what you need for the new arrival. And finally, something that's so often forgotten, making sure your support person is actually taken care of.
And before we get into it, there are 2 things that came up in every single source. They're cheap, they're simple, but they are total game changers.
Oh yeah. One is the extra long phone charger. Trust us on this. The other is a little trick involving a pillow from home. We'll explain why in a minute, but just keep those in your mind.
Okay, let's do this. Let's start with the foundation. The administrative stuff. The last thing you want when you're in labor is a scavenger hunt for a piece of paper.
It's amazing how the simplest things cause the biggest headaches. So first up, you absolutely have to have your photo ID, your insurance card, and any hospital pre-registration forms.
Just put them in a folder, ready to go.
Exactly, in an accessible spot. This is just to get you through the front door without any delays.
Now, I've heard a lot of people say they just email their birth plan to the hospital ahead of time and, they think they're all set.
And that's a great first step, but it is not enough. The sources are really clear on this.
Why not?
Because staff changes happen all the time. Nurses, doctors, you'll have a whole team cycling through. You need multiple physical copies of your birth plan.
Multiple? Like how many?
At least 3 or 4. Hand one to your nurse as soon as you arrive and keep another one somewhere visible in the room. Don't make them hunt for a digital file.
That makes so much sense. It's about redundancy when things are, kind of chaotic. What other info do we need to have ready?
Your contact lists. Have your pediatrician's name, their office address, and phone number written down, ready to hand over.
So you're not fumbling with your phone.
Right. And have a short list of who you want to call right after the birth. You do not want to be scrolling through contacts trying to remember how you saved your aunt's number when you're exhausted and holding a newborn.
And I guess this is a big one now. You have to check ahead for any specific hospital forms or policies, right? Like visitor rules, health regulations.
Absolutely. Get all that bureaucratic stuff cleared before the first contraction. It just removes a layer of stress.
Okay, so once the paperwork is sorted, the other part of this foundation is comfort. A hospital, it's sterile.
And labor is so personal. Bringing a few things from home can make a huge psychological difference.
Which brings us to the famous pillow trick you mentioned. I think everyone agrees hospital pillows are lacking.
They're terrible. They're thin. They're crinkly. A pillow from home is a huge upgrade for getting any kind of rest. But here's the critical tip.
Okay.
Put a brightly colored pillowcase on it. Not white, not beige, something like bright blue or pink.
Why the color?
Because the hospital cleaning staff moves so fast. Anything with a white pillowcase looks like hospital property, and it will get scooped up and sent to the laundry.
And you'll never see it again.
You will never see it again. A bright color screams, "This is mine, don't touch." It's such a small thing, but it's a huge stress reducer.
That's brilliant. What else helps make the room feel a bit more human?
An eye mask and earplugs. Lifesavers. Hospitals are never truly quiet. A favorite blanket, a little portable speaker for a playlist. Even a tennis ball for back labor can be a huge help.
And really, all these physical items are kind of mental anchors, aren't they? They're part of a bigger mental prep strategy.
That's exactly it. Packing familiar things helps you stay grounded. But the most important mental prep, and this is something people often avoid, is talking about the what-ifs.
You mean not just planning for the perfect, ideal birth?
Right. It means preparing for different scenarios. What if you need medication? What if it's an induction? What if it becomes a cesarean section?
I can see how that would be a tough conversation.
It is. But if you only prepare for one outcome, any change can feel like a failure. If you and your support person have discussed your preferences for all the possibilities, you can just be present in the moment, knowing the plan is in place no matter what happens.
That is fantastic advice. Let's move on from there to the mother's bag, the physical essentials. And the theme here seems to be comfort and recovery over style.
100%. For clothing, every source says the same thing. Pack nightgowns or pajamas that are loose, comfortable, and most importantly, front opening.
Is that just for breastfeeding?
That's a huge part of it, yeah. It makes nursing or skin-to-skin so much easier.
Yeah.
But it's also just practical for medical staff to do checks, especially if you have IV lines or, a dressing from a C-section. Function over fashion.
Let's talk about the going home outfit. I think we all have this image in our minds, but what's the reality check here?
The reality check is your body doesn't just snap back. You'll still look about 6 months pregnant when you leave, and that is completely normal.
So don't pack your pre-pregnancy jeans.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Your uterus is still shrinking, and you might have a lot of swelling. You want loose maternity clothes, a flowy dress, soft joggers. Comfort is key.
Okay, toiletries. Beyond the basics, what are the 2 things that are absolutely essential for that super dry hospital air?
A really good lip balm. Your lips will get so chapped during labor. And a good moisturizer.
Yeah.
Also, pack some dark-colored slippers or just flip-flops for walking around and for the shower.
Yeah, for the really interesting part, I think, the postpartum recovery stuff. This is the stuff nobody really talks about, but it's probably the most necessary part of the bag.
It's so crucial. Okay, so for nursing, you'll want nursing bras and breast pads. And nipple cream, like lanolin or whatever brand you prefer. A nursing pillow is also a must-have.
Why is the nursing pillow so important? Can't you just use a regular pillow?
You can, but these are designed to wrap around you and bring the baby up to the right height. It saves you from hunching over, which is a lifesaver for your back and shoulders.
And I imagine especially after a C-section.
Especially then. It keeps all the pressure off your incision. It just makes learning to breastfeed so much more comfortable.
Got it. Now, for general recovery, I know the hospital gives you some things like those mesh underwear and pads, but I hear you should pack your own.
Yeah, the hospital ones are functional, but they're not exactly comfortable. Packing your own soft, heavy-duty maternity pads and some high-waisted, comfortable underwear just gives you an upgrade. You'll feel so much better.
Okay, let's demystify 2 other items on the list. Witch hazel pads and stool softener.
Absolutely. So witch hazel pads, like the brand Tux, give you this immediate cooling relief for swelling and hemorrhoids, which are, very common. And a gentle stool softener is a really good idea because things can be slow to get moving, again, postpartum. It just prevents any extra strain.
And we have to circle back to the tech hook, the extra long phone charger.
No.
Why is this like the #1 tip from every parent ever?
Because hospital designers seem to think the best place for an outlet is directly behind the head of the bed, or like halfway across the room. A standard cord just won't reach.
So you're stuck.
You're completely stuck. A 10-foot cord means you can text people, take photos, and stay connected from the comfort of your bed. It sounds silly, but it is your lifeline.
The lifeline is established.
Okay.
Let's move to the smallest person in the equation, the baby. What's the #1 non-negotiable item for them?
It's not even in the bag. It's in your car, the car seat. You literally cannot leave the hospital without one, and it has to be installed correctly.
And you should probably practice with it first.
Oh, yes. Get it installed, get it checked if you can,
Yeah.
and practice buckling and unbuckling it. The last thing you want is to be figuring out a 5-point harness for the first time when you're sleep-deprived and emotional with a nurse watching you.
Good point. Okay, what about clothes for the baby? How many do we need, and how do we deal with the sizing issue?
The sizing issue is real. You don't know if you're going to have a 6-pounder or a 9-pounder. So the best advice is to pack about 5 to 8 onesies, but bring them in both newborn size and 0 to 3 month size.
You have options.
You have options. A surprising number of babies actually skip the newborn size altogether.
What other little things should we pack?
Some soft swaddle blankets or sleep sacks. The hospital ones are fine, but they're kind of stiff. Your own will be cozier. And then the little things, socks, little mittens so they don't scratch their face, and a couple of soft hats. And then a special going home outfit.
Right, for the big debut. And what about diapers? Should we bring a whole box?
No, not at all. The hospital provides all the diapers and wipes you'll need for your stay. It's not a bad idea to throw a few of your own in the bag, just in case, but you don't need to go overboard.
Okay, perfect. Now let's shift to the unsung hero of this whole experience, the support person. Their comfort is so important for the birthing parent's state of mind.
It's a perfect way to put it. They are your support system. And labor can be long, they need their own bag, and it needs to be packed with snacks. Lots of snacks.
Like real food, not just vending machine chips.
Exactly. Protein bars, nuts, instant coffee, water bottles. The cafeteria isn't open 24/7. And they need a change of clothes, or 2, and their own toiletries.
And I'm guessing, based on our earlier tip, their own pillow.
Yes, their own pillow and maybe a small blanket. They're going to be sleeping on a terrible chair or a tiny pull-out couch. If they can get some decent rest, they'll be a much better support person for you.
And what are the practical things they should be in charge of?
The logistics, the tech, the camera, an extra battery pack for their phone, and crucially, cash or a card for parking. Hospital parking fees can add up really fast.
It seems like the preparation really extends beyond just what's in the bags. It's about getting everything set up before you even leave.
It does. The final prep is about your home and your route. Plan how you're getting to the hospital, including a backup route. Know exactly where to park and which entrance to use.
Making go time as smooth as possible. And what about back at the ranch?
Before you leave, your house should be stocked. Postpartum supplies in the bathroom, baby stuff all set up, and most importantly, easy meals. Freezer meals, simple things to cook. The last thing you want to worry about is what to eat when you're exhausted.
And any other life admin? Pets? Other kids?
Yep. Arrange pet care. Have a really clear plan for any older siblings. The goal is just to make your return home as calm and seamless as it can be.
So when we boil it all down, the big takeaway here is that all this prep, all this organization, it isn't just about having stuff, it's about clearing your mind.
It's totally about clearing your mind. It's about buying yourself the freedom to focus on the moment. When you know everything else is handled, the paperwork, the recovery items, the snacks, you can be fully present for the birth. Preparation is confidence.
We've packed the bag and planned the route. But it seems like the deepest preparation might be in having those tougher conversations, right? Discussing not just the perfect birth plan, but the what-if scenarios, like a cesarean, and making sure your support person truly knows what you'd want.
I think so. How might preparing for the unexpected actually allow you to be more present in the moment and just embrace whatever path your baby takes into the world?
Yeah.
That's something to think about as you're zipping up that perfectly packed bag.